30 years of like rock radio, working endless bars. That was the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. All right, for our next read. Members of the Mystery Writers of America know her as Michelle, the delightful and spirited devotee of French cuisine, Agatha Christie, Sherlock Holmes, the tarot, anything having to do with Halloween or the zombie apocalypse. But to her many readers and fans, they're probably more familiar with her as M.M. Chouinard, USA Today, Publishers Weekly, and Amazon Charts best-selling author behind the Detective Jo Fournier series and the dark psychological thriller, The Vacation. Fair warning, it being so close to All Hallows Eve, tonight we are all in her element. Put your hands together for Michelle and M. Chouinard.
Hello. Okay, I'm going to start off by reading the first chapter of The Vacation. This is my standalone mystery thriller. And so we'll start with a little Jamaican noir, and then I'm going to do a very short reading from my next book that is not out yet, and that'll be a little San Francisco noir. Chapter 1. Rose Martin sips her drink and closes her eyes as the warm Jamaican breeze brushes her face, her legs, her bare shoulders. The humidity is lush and sensual, and when the air wafts past her, carrying the scent of the distant ocean up the mountainside, every inch of her skin comes alive, transforming her into a goddess. She wants to dance, slowly and with abandon, to the steel drum melodies coming from the villa's Bluetooth speakers. Wants to laugh and sing, and to make love long into the night. Finally, she's managing to relax, despite how hard the last couple of days have been. Maybe Brandon was right. Maybe the vacation was just what they needed. Time with family and friends in paradise. She's been ridiculous to stress over it so much. She really does need to get better at dealing with her anxieties. She makes a mental note to make an appointment with her therapist as soon as they get back to the States. Gin, Annabelle calls. Rose reopens her eyes to watch Annabelle spread her cards out on the wooden table with a single, graceful, well-manicured gesture. Damn it, Brandon says, and throws his cards down. 5 in a row. I give up. Annabelle's uncharacteristically sharp laugh cracks against the tiled courtyard and echoes off the 3 mustard yellow houses that enclose it. That's because I'm the only one who's not drunk. A chorus of half-hearted denials ring out, and Rose examines the nearly empty pitcher of rum punch as she sets her own cards down. It's the second pitcher, but even so, is that really enough to get 6 adults drunk? She's tipsy, without a doubt. Not a problem, the children are asleep, but she probably shouldn't drink anymore regardless. Everyone has to be up early tomorrow morning, and her brother and sister-in-law have already gone to bed. The thought reminds her, I should go check on the kids. Do you want me to look in on your boys too? Annabelle starts to answer, but her husband Mateo interrupts. Chill out, Rosie. Brandon just checked on them. You're going to turn into one of those, what's it called? Helicopter parents. Oh wait, too late. Rose winces at the nickname he knows she hates and stands. I don't like being out of earshot for too long when they aren't feeling well. And believe it or not, it's been well over an hour since he checked on them. Time flies when you're having fun. Mateo throws up his hands, a wry grin on his face. Oh, an hour. Well, my bad. Rose refuses to rise to the bait. Let him vent any way he needs to, choosing instead to shake her head gently and smile. I'll just be a minute. Sauntering toward the southmost house in the villa, she tries to refocus on the caress of the warm breeze. She steps under the gorgeous Moroccan scrolled overhang to the door and then into the Bohemian living room, all wicker furniture and bright, happy prints that make her smile. The room is stuffy, only the ceiling fans propel the warm air inside, and already she misses the intoxicating breeze. She cracks open the door to the children's room and peeks into Jackson's crib. He's sound asleep, and she smiles at the sight of his face, cherubic in the soft glow of the nightlight. The door swings open the rest of the way, and the hair on Rose's neck stands up in the breeze, because it's organic again, natural and flowing, not the artificial swirl of the fans. The window shouldn't be open, but it is, curtains billowing out into the room, obscuring Lily's bed just underneath. She rushes over and bats the curtains aside. The bed is flat, empty, heart pounding in her throat. She pulls at the covers and sheets and pillows as though her daughter could be hiding underneath them, playing an impossible game of hide and seek. Lily? She frantically dives to check under the bed, kicks away the wicker chairs, pushes aside the clothes in the tiny closet. Lily, this isn't funny. Come out right now. But she knows this isn't a 3-year-old's prank. Lily's not the sort of child who hides from her mother, and she's timid, anxious even. She'd never climb out a window on her own. Rose clambers onto the bed and sticks her head out, glancing left and glancing right, seeing nothing except the empty street that leads past the house, through John's Hall and toward Montego Bay. No Lily, no anybody. Fueled by a last scrap of hope, she dashes back through the small house, master bedroom, kitchen, living room, calling Lily's name, louder now, any concern for waking Jackson gone. But no Lily. She hurries back to the children's room and searches again. The bed, the closet, Jackson's crib, behind the chairs, refusing to admit what she will not find. Then she sinks to her knees, screaming. So that's the first one. Diana Montauk's hand brushed Benny Moreno's as they stared together at the stone foundations of the ruined Sutro baths, tucked silently on the edge of the Pacific Ocean. The crash of the waves below lulled her, and she closed her eyes for a moment, filling her lungs with the invigorating brine of the sea air. Benny playfully pulled her closer, but his smile failed to hide his impatience. It's getting dark and I'm getting cold. Want to head back to the hotel? She nodded, then gazed back out to the ruins, slowly being swallowed by the darkness. Images of Naya, Benny's ex-wife, sprang up amid the shadows. Of Naya's left eye swollen shut, puffed red and purple. Of dried blood flaking around her broken nose and smeared down her chin below her split lip. Of the desperation and hopelessness crying out from the single eye, still able to peer into the camera, begging for the nightmare to be over. Gazing up into her face, she shifted him gently in front of the expansive ocean. I'm so glad I found you. I can't imagine another man I'd rather be here with. She stood on her tiptoes to kiss him, stoking the rage evoked by those memories of Naya's face, allowing it to invade every cell in her body. When he deepened the kiss, she checked that his eyes were closed. When she confirmed they were, she took a mental snapshot of the lust on his face. Then she pulled a syringe of black tar heroin from her purse and plunged it deep into his carotid artery. The shift in his expression from confusion to realization sent her heart thumping, and she quickly took another mental snapshot. When his face began to slacken, she braced her feet firmly to the ground and shoved him back over the ledge to the observation deck. She watched his body disappear into the darkness, listened for his muffled landing, then crossed the paved observation deck back to the path. Over her decade of kills here, the topology of the paths and observation decks had shifted, but that kept her vigilant. She enjoyed changing things up, as long as the change wasn't too big. She bent to pick up a small rock and slipped it into her purse, alongside the now empty syringe. She pulled her scarf from her neck up over her head. Despite the rapidly falling darkness, there might be a straggler or two, and the scarf would hide her face. With a practiced, calm gait, she strolled through the ghostly cypress trees toward the Legion of Honor. On the way, she disabled her burner phone and tossed it into one trash can, then tossed the SIM card into another. She powered up her real cell, climbed into her rental car, and headed out of San Francisco.
Amateur bed, so. Ladies and gentlemen, Michelle Chouinard.